spicca il nome, la passione scintilla per chi vede col cuore ogni sfida è un'opportunità. Nel campo della vita siamo una comunità. Siamo qui per dimostrare che il coraggio non conosce.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final game is about to start. Please let's give a warm welcome to Montenegro and Portugal.
Da Cipci arriva la missione importante, gestire e sviluppare un futuro brillante. Ogni atleta un eroe, con il cuore che batte forte. In ogni disciplina apriamo nuove porte. Siamo qui per dimostrare che il coraggio non conosce limiti, possiamo volere. Goalball, torna il calcio a 5 giù da sciola, la vittoria ci distingue. Ogni partita un sogno che si avvera, con la forza dell'unione nessuna barriera. Insieme siamo invincibili, in ogni nostro gesto.
Please stand up for the national anthem of Montenegro. It's time for the national anthem of Portugal. Please stay up. And now, on one side of the court, from Montenegro, number 3, Makanovic Goran. Number 2, Nikolic Marko. Number 4, Nikolic Nikola. Number 5, Ranitovic Milos. And number 9, Obradovic Velisa. Now the coach, Kurovic Nikola. The assistant coach, Bulatovic Branislav. And the staff, Lisina Emil. On the other side, from Portugal, number 5, Mota Joao. Number 3, Oliveira Fabio. Number 2, Almeida Alexandre. Number 6, Macedo Joao. Number 7, Barbosa Fabio. And number 1, Baptista Felipe. The coach, Ferreira Marcia. The assistant coach, Diaz Alexandre. And the staff, Teixeira Catarina. The referees for this game, Bulent Kimion and Rosa Miralles. Good luck to everyone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the final game of the tournament for the gold medal match between the fantastic Portugal and the incredible Montenegro. Now, two teams. Montenegro was the one of the favorites coming into this competition, and we all knew that Portugal has a very, very strong team, and they have really shown why they deserve to be in the finals. And also, it's the first time in history we will have Portugal play in the European A division, and because that was the result from after they won the semifinals. My name is Florence Sermet, and with me I have Arvid Ryberg. It's a pleasure to have you here, Arvid.
Thank you, Florian, as always. Very happy to be here.
And what do you think we're going to expect? What are we expecting to see here in this game?
Well, I for sure hope that we're going to see the best game of the tournament so far, although it's going to be very, very hard to beat the incredible semi-final that we had between Portugal and Poland earlier this morning. But these two teams have an incredible level of play, and if they have the energy remaining to play this final, I think we're going to see some great goalball here.
We all saw the joy and the happiness in the Portuguese team after they won the semifinals. I just hope that they have had the moment and time to recharge the batteries to really get them back into this game, to reload for the finals, because this finals is about the gold medal, but the main objective of this competition is to be promoted up to A.
Exactly.
Do you think they have managed to do that?
It will be difficult for them, as you say, because I think both Montenegro and Portugal had their goal was to go up, and that's already done. But still, I've coached this kind of gold medal games, and it feels much better actually winning the gold medal than being second. So I hope so, and I think that both teams will really give it their all.
For sure, and I think we're going to have a very exciting game, and we have some comments here. We have Eduarda Aceda says go Portugal. Dan Roper says massive amount of respect for Portugal in this competition. They have played well, but in my humble opinion I think Montenegro win the gold medal, question mark. So doubting yourself a little bit perhaps. Excited for this one. Well, Dan, I'm also very torn on who's going to win this game. I don't know, to be honest.
I don't want to make a prediction, to be honest.
Me neither. I think it's going to be a very tight game, and I really hope both of the teams bring their best game so far in this competition, in this game, because I think both me, you, Arvid, and all of you watching the game along with us here are expecting a very tight and fierce game.
Yeah, we've had an incredible week of very high-level goalball here, and it would be the top on the cherry to finish it off with the best game.
For sure, and Capitão Pereira, the Portuguese former player, says the main objective was achieved, but of course we want the Douro medal. The dream has come true. Go Portugal. Even if the dream has come true, you can get just a little bit more.
Just a little bit better.
And get that gold medal around your neck. May the best team win, and we have the lineups for the two teams. For Montenegro we have number 5, Ranitovic on the left wing, Marco on the center, and Nikola on the right wing. And the reason why I'm using their first names is because they are brothers, so to not have the confusions, calling them both Nikolic, we go by the first name. So Marco center, Nikola on the right wing. No surprises there. For Portugal, we have Oliveira, number 3, on the left wing. We have number 6, Macedo, on the center, and we have Moata on the right wing. No surprises there either.
Very much the default setup for both these teams, and yeah, I think a lot of us would have been able to bet money on that this would be the exact lineup for the final. All these 6 players have performed outstandingly well so far in this tournament, so they all deserve their spot in this final.
For sure, and we have the 2 referees for here. We have the table referee Bullet Kinyam, and the other referee is Rosa Mirales from Spain. And we will have the first throw from Portugal, and Marcia is smiling from ear to ear, just enjoying life at the moment.
These are the kind of games that you dream of coaching, I believe.
For sure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it, the big one, the final game of this European B Championship between Montenegro and Portugal. Let's get it.
Marco collects the ball and hands the ball over to Nicola on the right wing. Goes down the line. No, goes to the center, but blocked by Macedo. Macedo passes the ball back to João Mata, who has moved over to the left wing. Goes for the straight down the line, blocked by the hands of Nicola.
Close there for Portugal straight away, as the ball is dropped into Nicola. Hands it over to Marco, who moves into a more central position, slightly to the left. Spins around, goes for the gap. Looked like a long ball. Yeah, the coaches
Wasn't called.
looked like they wanted it, but now the ball is with Oliveira on the right side. Skipping ball into Marco in the center and ricochets off. And just now it's under control. Very close again for Portugal.
Ranitovic with a straight bounce, but went out. And quite tense defense in both teams so far after 40 seconds.
I think they feel the tension, both teams for sure. Mata now. From the left side into the pocket. We have the first goal of this final. It's João Mata that scores 1-0 for Portugal. Beautiful gap shot there, Florian.
Yeah, there is a small gap between Marco and Nicola, especially if you throw these straight throws to the gap. Cross-court shot there from Nicola and blocked in the neck of time by the legs of Macedo. And Montenegro was actually down in the semifinals also, were down 1-0.
Yeah,
and they came back and won that game.
And they had that crazy comeback against France as well, so they know all about making comebacks. Now the ball is with Nicola, 2 meters from his right post. Skipping ball into the legs of Macedo and into the back of the net. Montenegro equalizes. We have 1-1.
A very good change of pace there, throw from Nicola from the right hand side, just between the legs of Macedo, and we have 1-1 with just over 1 minute into the first half.
Looked like Macedo dived a bit too early on that one, and because also we know that Nicola has some even more powerful shots, so he almost went half of his forces, and then Macedo was a bit too early.
Yes, Moata on the left hand side, cross court, blocked out by the upper body of Marco. Ranitovic on the left hand side with the cross court bounce, goes up in the air and just blocked out.
Close indeed for Montenegro as the ball is handed over to Oliveira from the left hand side, straight down the line into the body of Nicola, who blocks it wide. And the ball is going to be dropped back into him. We have played for 1 minute 45 seconds and the score is 1-1.
Nicola on the right hand side with a bounce into the gap, and you see that now Macedo hesitates a little bit, and now in the defensive position. João Mata to the center, blocked by Marco.
Marco moves over almost over to the left post. Spins around, that's a high bouncing ball, nicely saved by Macedo in the center. Really caught some air that bounce, and it requires a lot of strength and upper body control to jump like that. And the next throw from Oliveira is out, and the ball is going to be redropped to Ranitovic.
Ranitovic collects the ball and goes from the left hand side. A dummy run first from Nicola on the right wing, then Ranitovic cross court bounce and blocked by Macedo. Passes the ball back to João Mata, who quickly goes from left to right, goes for the gap and just blocked by the shoulder of Marco, and now goes to the right hand side.
Marco, a meter from the post, high bouncing ball, collected nicely by Macedo. Passes back to Oliveira, who fakes the run over to the left side, moves the center of Montenegro, and then tries for that same gap that João Mata just tried. This time Ranitovic blocks it out and hands the ball over to Nicola.
Nicola now from the left hand side goes over to the right hand side, about 2.5 meters into the court, goes for center, but Macedo again blocks, and the tactics for Portugal is very clear. They're trying to open the gap between Ranitovic and Marco.
Marco with a quick return into the hands of João Mata. Hands the ball over to Oliveira, who takes a Step to the right from center, skipping ball up in the air from Marco in center, but under control as he passes it back to his brother Nicola, 2 meters from his post. Slower bouncing ball, nicely defended by Yamata. Quick return into the gap, up in the air.
And they really need to be awake on those
Yeah.
one, because we know that Yamata loves to throw those.
You have said it this whole tournament. The quick returns from Yamata is really something different, and it's a great start to this final. Great
sure.
high level of goalball.
For sure. Oliveira now on the right hand side, wide on the bounce. 8 minutes and 15 seconds here remaining. We have 1-1 between Montenegro and Portugal, and Ranitovic on the left hand side goes in about 2 meters into the court, spins around, cross court bounce, and blocked by the arms of Moata.
Moata takes central position. No spin this time. Oh, tries for the post of Ranitovic, but in the end easily blocked by him as he passes the ball over to Nicola. From the 2 meters from the right post, into the gap. Great save by the arms of the center Macedo. Passes to Oliveira.
Oliveira runs over to the left hand side, goes back to the right, and
Yeah, there's the gap they're trying to find.
yeah, Marco goes too quickly to the right, but Ranitovic is behind him covering up.
High bounce from Marco.
Very close to the long ball line
Yes,
there.
very
but
close indeed.
on the right side of the line. And it,
We have the first timeout of the game. 7 minutes, 22 seconds remaining as Montenegro calls for timeouts.
yeah. And Nikola Tsurovic, the coach from Montenegro, is very, very graphic with his body language.
Yeah.
You almost get a feeling that he's very angry all the time,
Yes.
but that's just his way of speaking to his
I know.
players. And now
I don't understand the language, but I feel like I know what he's saying all the time. But so far, I think he has all the reasons to be pretty pleased with his team, don't you?
I think so, yes. They played well. There are some dangers and some gaps between Ranitovic and Marco that they need to be cautious for.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they've played well. And in the offense, they just need to get away from the center, because
Yeah, they're hitting Macedo in the
too
middle a lot.
much in the middle for the offense.
Nicola tries to hit the gap, and it's such a powerful throw there.
Macedo didn't even move.
No, there was a great save by Mata.
Yeah.
And it's a ball over, so ball back with Montenegro and Ranitovic. Cross-court bounce into the legs of Mata, who takes the next throw. Oh, runs over to the right side. Quick movement. Tries for the post of Ranitovic. Looked pretty solid there, and also very close to a high ball line.
Marco collects the ball on the left-hand side. Goes for the gap, but Oliveira blocks, and then calmly goes out to the sideline, all the way to the sideline. Goes for straight, but drops the ball outside, and he has had issues finding the post
Yeah.
opposite him.
And he is more used to playing on left wing, so it might be some issues for him on the right side to really get it all to work out for him. As Yamata now for Portugal with a high bounce and into the gap between Marco and Ranitovic once again, but so far it's looked pretty close.
Now we have Ranitovic, who goes for the gap, but blocked by the legs of Macedo. Passes the ball back to Oliveira, who goes out to the sideline again, and goes cross-court, passes Marco, and blocked by Nicola on the right-hand side.
Nicola spins around. Ooh, he dropped it wide. That's unfortunate though, it was a very nice throw otherwise, but if the ball is dropped out, of course it's out. So now the ball is in the hands of Yamata. He lines himself up against the post. Goes down the line, tries for the gap between the brothers, but hits way too much center, and Marco takes the ball, moves over to the left side.
Marco from the left-hand side goes down the line and just saved in the nick of time by the legs of Oliveira.
Yeah,
And Dan Roper says, "Woohoo! We got the game. We got a game. Seems like it is going to be a good one." Yes,
Totally
it
agree with
certainly
you.
looks like we're gonna have a very, very tight game.
as Oliveira now tries to get one back at Ranitovic, but he blocks it out, picks the ball up and hands it over to Nicola, who now gonna throw from the left side. Into the gap, up in the air from Oliveira, but in the end under control.
We have to remember that Moata made some really incredible saves in the semifinals.
Yeah. Was it 3-4 times where he went for the second line of defense and caught it on the goal line? Very
yes,
impressive.
against Poland there. Yeah. Marco now on the right hand side with a cross-court bounce, very very high but blocked there by the legs of Macedo.
Yeah, he got some jumps in him, that man. Impressive, as Oliveira fires back into the gap, blocked to a ball over from the feet of Ranitovic. And it will be interesting to see, because so far Portugal has tried to find the gap between, as we said, Marco and Ranitovic, but they have done so coming from center or from their left side. Now, the first time Oliveira tried to go for the gap coming from the right side, it became dangerous straight away.
Yes, but I think that has been the tactic also, to open up the gap.
Yeah.
To move Marco to his right, to move Ranitovic to his post, to open up the gap. So I think that's why they have been waiting, and especially Oliveira, who hasn't hit the post, it has taken them longer to open the gap, I believe.
Yeah, not go for the diamond straight away, but try to make it more clear first. Very solid tactics from Portugal.
Moata from center goes to the right hand side, and we have a high ball, and yeah, I believe it's correctly judged, because I think he lifts it just in the late part of the throw.
But all Portuguese players did not agree with the call at all.
For
of
sure,
course, of
for
course.
sure. It's 5:07 remaining here. We have 1-1, and Montenegro has an excellent opportunity here to go for the lead in the game for the first time of the match. And Mata goes to the right. Yeah, he has thrown all of the game. Yeah. Good read of the penalties, because Nicola, he goes to the left post, goes in about a meter, and then fires back to the left post.
Yeah.
He has then done like 5 times throughout this tournament. And if I can see it as the commentator, of course all the coaches can see it also.
So they told the defender Juamata to go to his right side, and then the coach of Montenegro noticed that and called for a timeout. And it's quite fun to see, because it doesn't mean that much, but Yamata celebrated that timeout. He stood up and screamed like, "Yeah, I read your mind."
Exactly, because
it's all about mental games here as well.
For sure, because that means that Montenegro already has taken 2 timeouts. They only have 2 timeouts left in the game.
That is, and we still have 5 minutes of the first half. That could be a problem for Montenegro.
Could be, yeah. Nicola now on the left-hand side, and Moata goes to the 6-meter line. Cross court and blocked by Moata.
And there is some energy on the Portuguese bench. You can see how much this means to the players.
For sure.
So we're ready to get back underway with Oliveira from his right hand side. Once again tries for the post. Ranitovic is there and tips the ball wide with his hands.
Nicola now collects the ball on the left hand side. Goes from the left post into the gap, up in the air, and it finds its way after touching the arms of Oliveira, and Montenegro has 2 goals and Portugal has 1 with 4 minutes and 51 seconds remaining, and it's a very, very beautiful goal from
Look
Nicola.
at the power in that replay. Wow. Hits the arm, but Oliveira just can't keep it out. Incredible stuff from the sharp thrower of Montenegro, Nikola Nikolic. As the ball is now with his brother, Marco. Bouncing ball from center.
Very high quality bounce, but beautiful save there by Macedo in center. Oliveira comes to the left hand side to receive the ball from Joao Mata. Goes in about 2 meters into the court and goes down the line, but blocked by Nicola. Chris Colbert says 2 good teams here. I absolutely agree. 2 great teams here.
As Nicola has the ball on the post, goes for the gap shot. We have another goal. It's the hat trick, a true hat trick for Nikola Nikolic, as he single-handedly has turned this game around in favor of Montenegro.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful bounce there, just on the side from the sideline into the gap, and
that is perfect.
Montenegro is leading 3-1 with 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Joao Mata cross court,
nearly gets one back immediately.
Yeah, and Ranitovic just blocked that one out. Marco receives the ball from Ranitovic, goes into the center, dummy run, and then Marco goes for the center, but blocked by Macedo, and takes the first throw of the game himself. with a high bounce, but easily collected by Marco. Passes the ball back to Ranitovic.
So Ranitovic now, number 5 of Montenegro, from his left post, spins and small bounce into central position, blocked by Macedo, passes it back to Oliveira. On the right hand side, 2 meters from the post. Small fast skipping ball up in the air. Oof, yeah, in the end, collected by Marco, hands it over to his brother Nicola.
Nicola from right hand side goes for the gap, but blocked by the feet of Moata. Moata now goes to the left, goes into the center, fires to the center, but blocked by Marco. Now Marco passes the ball back to Ranitovic. Ranitovic from left hand side goes for the gap, but blocked by the legs of Macedo.
Macedo is so quick to get up and chase those balls that goes towards the halfway line. Impressive. Oliveira now also tries for the gap, but too much center. Easily collected by Marco, who takes the next throw himself from a central position. High bounce once again, and this time it goes over Macedo. And we have the first goal of the game from Marco Nikolic, and 4-1 Montenegro.
A very, very good bounce there, but was it on the correct side of the line? Yes, it was.
It was, but it's not by much.
No, it's not by much, but enough to be on the correct side, and a very, very beautiful save. And Macedo has worked extremely hard so far in the defense, because both Marco and Nicola has presented some tremendous throws in this game, who has really pushed the defense in the Portugal team. And for Montenegro, they have been just getting better and better for each game.
For sure, for sure.
It's almost like they have reached the peak in this game.
Yeah.
Can they maintain it throughout 24 minutes though? 3 minutes and 11 seconds remaining here.
If they keep playing like this, it will be very hard for Portugal to come back, but we have also seen a lot of crazy comebacks throughout this tournament, so for sure there is plenty of time left. Oliveira from the left hand side, and just saved on the goal line by, what a second line of defense there from Nicola.
The ball was heading in.
Yeah, that might be one of the saves of the tournament.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, for sure.
I hope we get a replay of that in some time, because that was an incredible save. Next shot from Yomata, tries for the gap, this time blocked and passed back to Nicola.
Get away. The clock is running. They need to be careful, because they are really pushing the 10 second timer there.
9.5. Oops.
Oh, he touched his eye shades. Ranitovic touched his eye shades. But
since the referee said half
the
time.
referee said half time, he cannot be penalized for that.
No.
Because the Montenegrin players touched their eye shades, but the referee said half time, so they cannot be penalized for that. 2 minutes and 38 seconds, and Pedro, it's your fault if you're listening to this, because you jinxed it. He said earlier, we haven't heard the buzzer today.
Oh no, Pedro, why would you say that?
So it's Pedro's fault that the buzzer went now, and the worst possible time in the finals.
Yeah, it's been going crazy the whole tournament, but as you said, so far today it's been going good. But a chance for both teams to calm down a bit and talk to the coaches.
Yes, all the players are checked now again. 2 minutes and 38 seconds remaining. Oliveira on the right hand side is going to throw on play. It's too much in the middle, and Marco has some issues collecting the ball. Runs back to the post. Goes cross court, blocked by Macedo, who goes with a quick reply.
Interesting, haven't seen that much.
No, but good idea.
Very much so. Ball now with Nicola, 3 meters from his sideline. Nice bouncing ball, collected or blocked out rather by the legs of Yomata. 2 minutes, 12 seconds remaining of this first half.
Yomata collects the ball on the left hand side, runs quickly over to the right hand side, goes for the gap, but blocked by the legs of Marco, and the ball goes back to Portugal, and I think it has happened like almost 10 times already.
Yeah. And
Oliveira quickly from left to right, blocked again by the legs of Ranitovic.
Ooh, sloppy pass back there, but Ranitovic has the ball under control in the end, and his bouncing shot into the gap is blocked by Macedo. Once again, not this time he was not able to catch it before the
Yeah.
halfway line, and we have another ball over.
And Portugal is really trying to have these quick throws for Montenegro. They need to bring the pace down of the game now.
Yeah. Another great save by Macedo there as he passes the ball back to Oliveira. Starts from sitting position. That's his special move. I've only seen Oliveira do it.
Now Nicola goes to the left-hand side to collect the ball and will throw from the left post. Goes into the center and tries to duplicate the goal that he scored earlier, but this time blocked by Macedo, and passes the ball back to Oliveira, who goes out to the sideline. Goes for a straight bounce and out. 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining.
As Ranitovic picks the ball up and hands it over to Marco, who's gonna throw 1 meter from the left post. Good, goes for the gap, also close to a high ball I think, but blocked and catched by Macedo. Passes back to Yomata. Yomata into Marco in the center. Passes back to Nicola, but we have a noise official timeout for noise.
And
There is actually a lot of people here watching the game, which we love, but sometimes it's difficult to have them all quiet at the same time.
And goalball is just a sport like tennis. During the game we need to be quiet. Oliveira quickly from right to left with a bounce to the center, but Marco blocks and passes the ball to Ranitovic on the left wing. Ranitovic on the left, cross-court bounce, blocked out by Moata, and we have 44 seconds remaining.
Ball is being dropped into Yomata. Spins around, bounce cross court up in the air from the shoulder of Marco, but this time landed in front of him, and he's gonna take the next throw himself from the center position. Speedy bounce. Ooh, Macedo gets it, and sloppy, but he still passes it back to Oliveira.
Oliveira from the left-hand side this time, blocked by Marco, and
But
goes out. It's about 7.5, 8 seconds remaining here on the clock. And we have Nicola from the left-hand side with a good bounce to the gap, but blocked by Macedo. Now Moata on the right-hand side with 12 seconds remaining with a high bounce, blocked by the legs of
in the air.
Ranitovic and blocked forward.
Oh, that should be
No.
considered a noise. No, okay, it's not a
No,
throw. It's not a throw.
It's not considered as a throw, so it cannot be noise.
But
It's in the act of defense, so it cannot
Yeah,
be
no.
counted as a throw. And we have only 2 seconds remaining here, and we're gonna mop the floors again to avoid any injuries, because it's becoming so sweaty for all the players.
But look at the replay, how
And
close it is to
yeah.
have another goal for Portugal, which really would have helped them coming into halftime, scoring the last goal.
We talked about having luck in the game between Poland and Portugal, and that luck is deserved.
Yeah,
For Montenegro, it's probably the case.
for
2
sure.
seconds.
So we have 2 seconds, and are they going to be able to throw? Ah, that's a shame for Portugal. That one goes wide, and
Yeah.
I feel like
But
it
it's-
is difficult to throw on 2 seconds, but it makes it even more difficult when the referee has to say quiet please a couple of times, because you need to start the run up before the play. So it's I can understand some frustration from the Portugal team.
Of course, you understand the Portuguese team, but you have to understand the referee, because
Yeah.
he has a lot of audience here now that
Yeah.
he needs to control, and
Of
if it's
course.
not quiet, of course he can't.
You can't
say-
start the game.
No,
No,
you can't.
the referee is doing everything right as well. It's just a difficult situation for both parties.
Yes, and Doper, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, says Montenegro is so lucky. Yes, perhaps, but I believe that luck is deserved.
For
And
sure.
Montenegro is playing really well. For sure, so is Portugal. They are also playing really well, but Nicola with his throws and the bounces from Marco has been incredible, and I think that has been the decisive factor so far.
Yeah.
So for all of you that have been watching the game along with us, what's your opinion of the first half, and do you have a prediction for the end of the game? We're about 1 minute and 40 seconds before we start the second half, and Montenegro is leading 4 goals to 1.
I think it's so interesting to see how the all 3 players of the Montenegro team, they all have these different kinds of bounces, and they make Macedo in the middle of Portugal work so hard, because every single bounce is unique. And I mean, he's doing some great saves when he really jumps high up into the air and catches a ball that's half a meter over the floor. But then the next bounce is gonna go just underneath him if he jumps that high. So they really put Macedo to an incredibly difficult task, dealing with all these different bouncing balls.
Yeah, for sure. And we have Nikki Coopen says, hoping that Portugal scores a few goals would be really nice for the game, and they deserve it. We'll see. They have the means to do it.
For sure.
Will they do it though? We will know in about 12 minutes.
As we prepare the players for the second half, we see no substitutions on either side, which is really no surprise. You and me, Florian, we discussed that a bit before we came on live, that both these teams maybe do not have the strength on the bench as much, but they have 3 incredibly competent players on very high level. But when it really matters, you kind of feel like they're gonna play those 3 players at all times.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think this is also one of the difference between the European A and the top teams, between European B, that in the European A's, the best teams there has 5, 6, 7, or sometimes even more very good players. And you don't really have that in the same way in the B division.
Because the top 3 players here are very well on level with the top 3 players of a team.
Yes,
but
for
the
sure.
difference is on the other players. I totally agree with you. Okay, back on the way with the second half.
Portugal will have the first throw in the second half. Macedo collects the ball and passes it back to Moata on the left wing. Goes in about 2 meters into the court, goes for the gap and blocked by Marco,
who passes it back to Nicola. Nicola with a spinning effort into the feet of Macedo. Passes it quickly back to Oliveira. 2 meters from his right post. Goes down the line. Blocked out by Ranitovic. It may not look super solid on his post, but so far he has kept it very quiet.
He has Ranitovic on the left-hand side with a bounce to the center, but blocked by Macedo. Runs forward, collects it, and then passes it back to Joao Mata. Joao Mata goes cross-court bounce, blocked by the shoulder of Marco, who takes the ball himself, goes to the right-hand side of the center with a high bounce. And
that's an incredible
solid,
bounce and an incredible save. Ball with Joao Mata, who gets it from the left side, goes over to the right side, straight down the line, blocked forward by the body of Ranitovic, and someone need to go get that. We have a ball over, which I think was lucky, because you could have called a high ball, and it was also very close to a 10 seconds. So yeah, living by margins right now. Oliveira now tries for the post once more, out by 1 meter.
And I think it would be a possibility for Portugal to move over Oliveira to the left wing and move over Joao Mata to the right wing, because I think that would increase their opportunities in the offense, because Oliveira is better in the offense, in my opinion, on the left wing.
Yeah.
Joao Mata quickly from left to right, blocked by Marco. Marco now goes to the left-hand side of the center with a bounce to the left-hand side, but blocked by Oliveira with a quick return. And Ranitovic is a solid man on the left wing.
Yeah, he's playing very well right now as he takes this next throw. High bouncing ball, cross court, up in the air from Joao Mata. Does he keep it out? Does he keep it out? Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the closest non-goals I think I've ever seen. How many times did he almost save it? Let's watch the replays.
Let's watch the replay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 times and just on the right.
That is some
right side of the line. And I think Joao Mata maybe is a football player.
It looked like it, yeah.
Yes. I
Well,
was
Cristiano
about to say
Ronaldo
soccer,
would be
but I
proud of that
remembered
one.
I'm in Europe.
Yeah.
It's
For
not
sure.
called soccer, it's called football. Dan Roper says, this is a great game, very enjoyable so far. My prediction is more of the same, but Portugal need to keep their heads held high. It's been a fantastic competition for them. Couldn't agree more
Well
with
said.
everything you
Well
said.
said. So now we had, well, 2 close calls on either side that could have resulted in more goals. As we're back underway with João Mata, who goes well wide on that one. Almost looked like he slipped on the floor in the final part of his run-up.
Nicolas collects the ball on the left-hand side. Walks over to the right-hand side. Goes down the line and just blocked out by the arms of Mata. Touches or even kisses the post on the way out.
What a shot and what a save. João Mata picks up the ball, goes into the middle and hands it over to Oliveira. Oliveira then follows João Mata to the left side. Spins around, goes cross court. Did not get the power he wished from that one, but we have another ball over and Portugal can keep the pressure on here.
9:56 remaining here on the clock, and João Mata collects the ball. Goes in about 2.5 meters into the court. Goes straight to the gap, but blocked by the legs of Ranitovic.
Marco passes back to Nicola. Nicola spins around, high bounce, nicely blocked out there by João Mata. And you gotta feel like the last minute or so, Montenegro hasn't really got the time to focus on the offense at all, because all their throws has been either ball over or they had like 1 or 2 seconds left on their times 10 second.
Yes, Ranitovic now on the left-hand side with 9:30 remaining with a cross-court effort. Very good bounce, but beautiful save there by Macedo. Now João Mata from the left-hand side. Ooh!
Yeah,
Yeah.
the high ball got called.
It was a high ball, yes.
I think so too.
9:21, and this could be very, very crucial for the game to really give Montenegro some breathing room. And we have Marco now, who usually doesn't take the penalties, and this could be a good thing for Montenegro because Portugal hasn't been able to read
Exactly.
Marco from center.
But he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball in a penalty. Wow. Well, there's something I have not seen before.
Nope.
Definitely not on
Fortunately,
senior
he
level.
didn't drop it backwards.
No. Because that would have been really bad.
We have already had 2 goals like this in this competition.
True.
Oliveira.
Very powerful throw, but also very close to both the high ball and the long ball. As Nicola now. Nicola into the gap. Great save by the hands of Macedo. Over to João Mata. Quickly over to the right-hand side. Again into the gap, but we have a goal! We have a goal for Portugal, which is exactly what they need. The bench and the players of Montenegro feels like that should have been called a high ball, but no whistle from the referee.
And Portugal is back into the game with only a 2-goal deficit now, and Nicola goes to the left-hand side this time. Goes to the gap, but blocked by Oliveira. Oliveira now on the right-hand side. Goes cross-court bounce, up in the air, and just
blocked
goes
wide.
out.
Wow.
Blocked out.
They got some momentum now, Portugal, and you can see how well this movement from the wings constantly, how difficult it makes it for Montenegro to know where they are shooting from. Quick return from João Mata. Ooh, nice save by Nicola. The ball goes out and is being redropped, and looks like Nicola is gonna give it to his brother Marco, who moves into a central position.
Marco from center. Cross court and just wide because Oliveira was very quick into the gap. But I think for Montenegro now they just need to take a little longer for every throw.
No need to push right now, but rather focus on finding your excellent defense again.
Oliveira from center. Bounce to the right hand side, blocked by Ranitovic. Ranitovic from the left hands the ball over to Nicola. Nicola from the left hand side. Goes for the gap, but blocked by the legs of Macedo. Macedo passes the ball back to João Mata, who goes cross court and finds the way into the court, and we have 3 goals for Portugal, 4 for Montenegro, sorry.
And a timeout for Montenegro, their third timeout. Now they only have one left for the final 8 minutes.
Yeah,
but wow, Portugal are back in the game.
For sure, for sure. So, and I said that the penalty could be very, very crucial, because if they scored there, it would have been 5-1 for Montenegro. Yeah. And less than a minute later, we have 4-3 for Montenegro. Only one goal dividing the two teams. And just a matter of time now. Can Montenegro just calm down the team and get back to what they were doing until now, because they've been playing really well? Or will this tremendous pressure from Portugal make Montenegro crumble?
This is what it means to play in a final, as Nikola now has the ball on the right side. Goes for, ooh, it's a long ball! That is not what you have. You can't do that right after a timeout, where the coach probably was like, hey guys, we need to calm down, and you go throw a long ball immediately. Things are looking grim for Montenegro at the moment.
For sure.
Another very decisive moment of this game.
Oliveira on the right hand side goes cross court and scores.
Beautiful penalty.
And this is the difference. Now Montenegro has missed their penalties. Portugal has scored their penalties. Michael Dennis says Montenegro needs to use their penalties, but the second goal of Portugal was a clear high ball, close game, and good to watch otherwise.
So we have 7 minutes 45 seconds remaining of this game, with Marco now bouncing from central position. Oh, what a save by the very fingertips of Oliveira. What a save. Oliveira now with the next throw, bouncing straight down the line, just wide on this occasion. And it's all tied at 4-4. This was the sort of final that we hoped we would get.
Yeah, very tight and very clear. Two contenders fighting for it, for the win. Nikola from left to right, blocked by Macedo. Now Joao Mata from the left hand side. Goes cross court, up in the air, and Ranitovic just collects it, and they have difficulties adapting to the different paces that Portugal is throwing, and Ranitovic finds the gap, because touch has been between the arms of Oliveira, and we have 5-4 for Montenegro, and I believe this is exactly what they needed, just to get a small breather.
Started to believe in that they could score again. Very impressive from Montenegro, as Joao Mata now is looking for a quick response. Down into the gap, nicely collected by the feet of Ranitovic, and the ball is now with Marco from a central position. Spins round, another high bounce, nicely collected by Macedo, who we have to say it once more, he's doing a great job there in the center. Oliveira runs around, hits too much center, and the ball is with Nikola.
Nikola goes from the right hand side to the left hand side. Goes cross court, blocked by the arms of Macedo, who passes the ball back to Joao Mata on the left wing.
Ooh. Portugal call for timeout.
Yeah, and that's
very late in the throw, but still I think within the time.
Yes, but 6 minutes and 31 seconds remaining. Both teams have taken 3 timeouts each, which is quite unusual to take them this early, but
especially when the game is this tight.
For sure. So this will for sure put them in a situation where they don't have timeouts remaining, and you can see that none of the Portuguese players are patched.
None of the Montenegro players either, I think.
No, so they need to start patching those players to be able to use the substitutions also.
Because if it's still this tight with 1 minute remaining, both teams will start using the substitutions for sure. So Portugal, afraid of that 10-second clock, just throw the ball out before the play command, and the ball goes over to Montenegro.
Nikola goes from left to right. Cross court, in between the legs of Oliveira, and Nikola gets the Montenegrin team with a 2-goal lead with 6 minutes, 24 seconds remaining here on the clock. They can't score on penalties, but they sure can score on during normal game time.
Oliveira just a bit too quick to read that ball, goes too much into the gap between him and the center Macedo as he's looking to retaliate straight away. Great save by Marco in the center, who lines up for the next throw. We have another big bounce, nicely collected by Macedo. Passes the ball back to Yamata on his left wing. He stands up, spins around, skipping ball collected by Marco, hands it back to Nicola.
Nicola on the right hand side. With an awkward throw, quick reply here by Joao Mata. Yeah, it was a long
there
ball.
we have it. It's superbly in all other aspects than that it was a penalty. Yamata just super quick up on the quick return, but
good idea,
yeah.
everything, but it's just almost a high ball also because he lifts it a little bit in the throw.
So
I just said they can't score on penalties. Will
let's see if that was true.
We'll see here now.
No, they can't.
No,
what a
they
save
can't.
from Yamata.
With
Wow.
beautiful save there from Joao Mata. It was a very good penalty.
Yeah.
It's none of his fault, but
It's far out to the line.
well, it's too much into the middle there.
I hope that everyone watching understands the enormous difficulty of making the save that Yamata just did. That requires huge amount of both strength and reflexes.
Yes, for sure. And Nicola now on the right hand side goes to the left, but
Nearly passes Macedo.
yeah, blocked by his legs and passes the ball to Joao Mata, tricks the run and goes back to the left hand side, but shoots out wide. 5 minutes and 29 seconds remaining, ladies and gentlemen, and Marco has the ball on the right hand side.
Marco tries for
Goes
a cross court.
passes Macedo, but blocked behind him by the arms of Oliveira.
Oliveira now from the right post tries to go straight down the line, wide with a meter, and as you said for him, we've had a couple of throws, or actually quite many of them, from Oliveira from right post where he doesn't really find the post but rather goes wide by a meter. Could turn out crucial in the end.
Ranitovic on the left hand side goes for a bounce to the center, blocked by Macedo. Macedo runs forward, collects the ball, passes the ball back to Oliveira. Oliveira on the right hand side goes for the gap, blocked easily there by Marco in the center, hands the ball over to Nicola, who goes from center.
Powerful shot but blocked in the end by Yamata, who lines up, goes for the cross court into the back of the net. Sloppy defense of the arms of Ranitovic has given Portugal another ticket back into this game. 6 for Montenegro, 5 for Portugal.
And just he went with one arm and the ball went over his arm,
Yeah.
and just 5-6 for very close there from Ranitovic from the left hand side. Oliveira now goes to the left, goes for a bounce into the gap, but blocked by the legs of
Great save.
Marco Ranitovic, and now we will have some mopping off the floor with 4:27 remaining, and Dan Roper says, oh man, they are playing their hearts out on the court today. Love it. Yes, they certainly are.
Couldn't agree more. And
Both teams really want that gold medal wrapped around their necks, and they're giving it all out there.
I'm starting to feel quite happy whenever the referee calls an official timeout, because we need the rest too. I'm sweating over here. This is so nervous.
Yeah, it's a very exciting game. I'm enjoying the game.
Very
I'm
much so.
having the pleasure to do the commentating together with you, Arvid,
Well,
and giving you, all of you watchers, this game broadcasted.
Nicola tries for a bounce, blocked by the feet of Macedo. Passes it back to Yamata, 2 meters from his left post. Nice skipping ball into the chest of Nicola, who blocks it out. And it looks like his brother Marco is coming down to the post to take the next throw.
Marco goes into the center with a good bounce, very high up in the air, and blocked over by the legs of Macedo.
We have another equipment check.
I think we're gonna have
Yeah.
quite a few of those.
Yeah.
The time left is 4 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock, and Montenegro is leading 6 goals to 5. And we have about half of the spectators cheering for Montenegro, the other half is cheering for Portugal.
Yeah, I think it's pretty even out, which is nice. So both teams have some supporters here.
Ranitovic on the left-hand side goes for a straight bounce, and just blocked by the
They looked
long
like
toes
yeah.
of Oliveira.
Very much so indeed. Oliveira now picks up the ball, goes from his right post, fakes to on the left side. Instead, it goes from a central position into the gap, up in the air from Ranitovic, blocked out. But you can see how difficult the Montenegro defenders have, how much difficulties they have with all the running around from the Portugal throwers.
For sure. Now Nikola from left to right goes back to the left-hand side, almost passes Macedo, but blocked by the legs. And Ranitovic collects the ball on the left-hand side, hands it over to Marco, who goes into the center. Goes for a straight bounce up in the air and landed at Macedo, and then it goes down to the right-hand side. Now Oliveira going for a straight bounce, and this time it's actually the first time he doesn't throw out, and it was almost a dangerous shot there. Now Nikola takes the ball again on the left-hand side, goes over to the right-hand side.
Feels the post, spins around, tries for the full diagonal, but blocked by the body of Oliveira. Macedo tracks the ball down, passes back to Yamata on the left wing. Another bouncy skipping ball towards the post of Raditovic, but well, from where we're sitting, it looks like that post is very much closed now, since he had the mistake earlier. It feels like he has been moving further out to make sure that won't happen again.
Yes, Ranitovic on the left-hand side with 3:07 remaining, with a great bouncing effort there. Blocked by Macedo. Now Oliveira runs quickly from right to left, goes almost passes the center in Montenegro, Marco, but he collects and goes just to the right of the center. With a bounce effort, Macedo blocks, passes the ball back to Joao Mata.
Mata, can he be the one to turn Portugal equal? High bounce towards Ranitovic, blocked out this time. 2 minutes 37 seconds remaining, and still Portugal are trailing 5 goals to 6 as Ranitovic picks up the ball for Montenegro.
Yeah, Nikola now fires from the left-hand side. He stands about 2 meters into the court, goes into the center but blocked by Macedo, and passes the ball back to Joao Mata. Joao Mata on the left, going to the center but blocked by Marco, and he passes the ball back to Nikola. Nikola again from the right-hand side this time, goes for the gap but blocked by Joao Mata, and Oliveira goes over to the left-hand side, collects the ball and goes for the center, blocked by Marco.
Yeah, Marco now for Montenegro from the center. We get another bouncy ball. Ooh, saved by the very feet of Macedo in the center. Yamata runs over to the left side and goes all the way back to the post of Nikola, and that is very, very close to an equalizer.
Yeah, very beautiful effort there from Mata. Now Nikola goes from right to left all the way over to the left post, goes into the center, goes out again to the post, but blocked by the legs of Oliveira. Now Oliveira on the right-hand side goes for this high bounce into the middle, and 1:35 remaining here. 6-5 for Montenegro. Marco from left goes for the gap, up in the air, bounces in front of Oliveira. Now Joao Mata comes and collects from the right-hand side.
Yamata spins around, once again goes for the post, this time quite clearly wide though. 1 minute 19 seconds remaining, and as we said, both teams only have 1 timeout left, and still no players on the benches are patched, so they can't use any substitutions the way it looks right now.
Exactly. And we have some comments here from Marcel van der Brie. Says, thanks for the great work Arvid, Florem and all the other commentators are doing during this Euro B men Championship. Thank you very much.
Thank
Dan
you.
Roper says, yes, I agree. Commentary has been outstanding this tournament. You have made it exciting and being very descriptive at the same time. Thanks for being my eyes. Thank
Nice.
you so much for those great
Yeah.
comments. Thank you very
We're
much.
honored being here. Thank you so much. It's our pleasure for sure.
1:19 remaining here on this second half of the final. Ranitovic on the left hand side. Cross court bounce up, blocked out by Moata, almost misjudged the bounce there. Now
Ball
Oliveira
is-
collects the ball on the left hand side, runs over to the right, goes for the gap but hits center and passes the ball back to Nicola.
Nicola now 2 meters from the right post. Spins around. He goes for the gap. Ooh, that is close. What a save by Macedo. Quick return by Yamata. And the fourth and final timeout from the Montenegrin coach is coming through.
And I
55.6 seconds remaining.
Yeah, but I truly believe that both coaches now should patch their players, because it's only one goal difference, and you need to have all your opportunities as a coach to have a timeout just to talk to your players. So now Montenegro doesn't have any more opportunities. Portugal has one more timeout.
But you want these stoppages in play just to be able to communicate with your players. It's not that the new player is gonna make the difference, but you need to transfer the information to the other two on court.
But also, if you just want to stop the clock,
Yeah.
to have a throw or something.
Exactly.
Nicola now on the right hand side.
Ooh, he drops the ball just outside of the court, and Portugal get a free 10 seconds. 51 seconds remaining.
Oliveira runs from right to left. Goes for the cross court bounce.
Into
and
the back of the net!
finds its way into the net, and Marco doesn't throw himself, and Ranitovic misjudges it that completely, doesn't even throw himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, this final is one of the most exciting games you have ever witnessed. Do not look away from your screens as we embark on this last 45 seconds. But as of now, Florian, we're going to overtime in a final.
Yeah, we're 45 seconds away from it, but nothing is determined yet. I think we have 4 more throws in this game. Oliveira goes to the left, goes back to the right hand side, goes for the gap and blocked there by Marco, who goes into the center. We'll have a high bounce from center to the left hand side. Passes Macedo but blocked by Oliveira. 21 seconds remaining. Oliveira from the right hand side goes for the center but blocked by Marco. And now Nicola with 14.9 seconds remaining here on the clock.
So probably one shot each, right?
Yeah, one shot each we have.
Nicola.
Goes from left to right. Passes Macedo but blocked.
Yeah, and of course the final timeout for the Portugal team is coming through as well. As we have 7.9 seconds on that clock, Portugal will have one final chance to finish this game off before overtime.
For sure. And we have Thomas Svensson says, I agree as well. Good work with the commentary during the tournament. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Nikki
Thomas.
Kopen says, indeed great commentators. Thank you so much. Hope to hear you soon for a next tournament. I hope so too. I really enjoy doing this, and this is for me a way to be close to the sport. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 7.9 seconds remaining here. Oliveira has the ball in his hand, has the final throw of this game.
Yeah.
And has a lost opportunity during normal time. And Oliveira from center goes for the gap and blocked. And this 2.4 seconds. This is why you need to have the substitution, because if
now
they would have caught, they would have had a little more than 3 seconds on the throw.
exactly.
Nicola now from the left hand side.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the final game of this Ibsa Goalball European Championships B, we are going into overtime
Yes.
to have a winner.
Dom Roper says, wow, I agree.
Yeah.
Sonahor cheers for Portugal, says, let's go Portugal. Doper says, this is an insane game. Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. 6-6 after 24 intense minutes of goalball. My heart rate is up. I know you, Arvid, your heart rate has been up since this morning, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Since 2 weeks prior to the tournament.
So I think you need
This is-
something to calm your nerves down.
This is some incredible goalball we're seeing.
I'm really enjoying this game, and it's been incredible play from both teams, and it's been so interesting to see how Portugal really amped up their offense in the second half,
Yeah.
their movement, their different kind of throws, and we have Pedro just comes here to say hi, and he has a very nice suit and a very nice black tie with yellow and red dots, small dots on the tie.
You look very good, Pedro.
Look very good. Are you enjoying the game? Yes. Yeah. So that means you need to go out again.
So
Yes, and Michael Dennis says third time overtime in one tournament. Never seen that before. Yes, it's very unusual, but that also just tells how tight and unpredictable this entire tournament
Yeah.
has been. So many good teams, and these 2 days, especially from the quarterfinals and onwards, all the teams have stepped up their
For
games,
sure, for sure.
especially in the defense. It has been very nice to see, and we are 60 seconds away from the overtime starts, and Portugal has won the coin toss, I believe, because they have chosen to throw the first throw.
yeah, it would be crazy to give away the first throw in overtime.
Yes. So Portugal will have the first throw in here in the second half. We'll see if both teams have been able to reload now to start over, because yes, it's another game now, and one goal can end it all. We
Exactly.
haven't had a game going to the penalties so far. Will the finals go to the penalties? I do not believe so. I think we will have a winner here.
I do think so too, but it might not be until because we can play maximum 2-3 minute halves of overtime, and since this is the most low scoring game that has gone to overtime so far, it would not surprise me if we have the first 3 minutes without a goal actually.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about the MVP. I've been so excited into the game.
Ah.
So please write down in the comments, who do you think is going to be who is the MVP for you in this game? Please let us know.
So we throw ourselves into golden goal between Portugal to the left on your screen and Montenegro to the right. Poland with the first throw. Portugal with the first throw.
Macedo collects the ball, passes the ball back to Oliveira. Oliveira goes from right to left, goes cross court, and
Into the back of the
Portugal
net!
fires and scores, and the first throw in the golden goal, and kills the game immediately. And Ranitovic is very disappointed in that action, and I understand why, because he hesitated. And Portugal, ladies and gentlemen, is the gold medal winners in the European Championships B. Yesterday they secured their spot into the earlier today they secured their spot into the A division. Now they went on and took the gold medal. Well deserved. They were down, they came back, they beat Montenegro 76. What a game, what a game, what a game.
Yeah, this is unbelievable scenes that we are witnessing right now. And as we've said many times before, Portugal's first ever time going up to the A division, and you would think that it would not have been weird for them to be kind of fed up by that achievement this morning, to not be able to reload for this final. But, well, they certainly did, and what a game they played for Montenegro as well. Great goalball.
For sure, and I have to pick Oliveira for the MVP. When it counted the most, he was there behind Macedo. When it counted the most, he scored the defining goals who
Exactly.
brought Portugal back into the game, and now of course they're winning gold. Thank you very much, all of you watching the game with us. Thank you so much, Arvid.
Thank you,
for
Florian. It's always been a pleasure.
being my co-host in this finals. And take care, all of you, and hopefully I'll see you very soon in a new tournament. Thank you, and once again, congratulations for Portugal.
Thank you, guys. Goodbye.